Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Buds Fantasy Football Show. Ted's back. We're gonna go to this screen today. I'm feeling it, feeling it. So we're gonna go to this screen today. So today I got a show planned for you guys here. We got obviously quarterbacks, running backs, receivers going top 10. We're gonna start from bottom to the top, and then yeah, we're just gonna get to it because the last 2 weeks have been absolutely crazy in football. If you're a gambler, if you're in the sports book, usually I do sports book. I did not get a show planned for the sports book part today, so next week I'll be jumping on it. But if you have questions on it, if anybody has questions, go ahead, let me know. Um, yeah, the last 2 weeks have been super unpredictable, and like teams are losing that shouldn't be. And to start the show off today, I wanted to do some funny stuff that's on here that is just so unpredictable that nobody's seen starting the season, and that's how I wanted to start the show today. Like, who thought that Cam Newton was going to be starting quarterback for the Panthers at the beginning of the season? Like, dude, like the guy was supposed to start for New England and then got dropped before this. Ted's here. Ted's here with Austin. There we go. Let's go. Cam Newton was supposed to start for New England at the start of the season before week one. Like legit, the week before week one, they dropped Cam, and now Cam is back with the Panthers. Game one that he plays with them last week, he runs a touchdown and then throws a touchdown. Let's go. So we got Cam unpredictability. Unpredictability number two. Mac Jones, the last quarterback picked in the draft. That's starting. The last starting quarterback that was picked in the draft. He was picked in the first round at number 15. And this man is the best quarterback going right now out of all the rookies so far starting this year. And he's the only one out of the entire class that looks like he's got a playoff chance. So, unpredictability. Number three, Broncos last week were number one in the division, filled with the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Raiders. I mean, it's not the case anymore as of this week, but still, last week we're talking about going into week 10. And another one, Trevon Diggs of Dallas Cowboys has more interceptions just himself. He's got, let me see, I wrote it down here. Trevon Diggs has got 8 interceptions. He has more interceptions just himself than the entire Giants team and the entire Eagles team. The Eagles have 5 interceptions, and the Giants have 7. And this man's sitting here at 8. Unpredictability. So it's been a wild one. Patrick Mahomes, right now, is in third place for the most interceptions on the year out of all starting quarterbacks. Right behind Darnell Mooney and... Or not Darnell. Darnell Mooney. I seen Mooney on there, so maybe... let me look at the paper. Like Sam Darnold and Joe Burrow sitting at 11 interceptions, and Patrick Mahomes is sitting at 10. Unpredictable. Who would have thought that? Who's seen that coming? Let me know, because you'd be lying if you said you did. Well, we got a show here today. I'm gonna get right to it. It's not gonna be too long. Unfortunately, I do not have the sports book plays of the day at the end of the show, so I'm just going to get to the quarterback, running back, receivers today. Otton and Ted, let's go. Got the boys in here right now. The MVP, Channel 42. So, at number 10, starting it off right away, quarterbacks. Number 10 this week. And get at me on my list, because I got a wild list for you guys today. I got some stats to back it up. At number 10, Joe Burrow versus the Las Vegas Raiders. That team's starting to slip a little bit, and Burrow has been on and off the list all year. I've been putting him in lower love 10, all this stuff. I do think he comes back this week. I think Cincinnati wins this game. I think Cincinnati comes back, and I think they win this game by 10. I'm going to call it right now. That's a hot take. Hot take right there. Cincinnati wins, beats Raiders by 10. Joe Burrow is going to sling the ball. And we're going to talk about the guy that's going to be the recipient of that in just a little bit. At number 9, we got Derek Carr versus my Bears. Derek Carr versus my Bears. It's funny, my entire lifetime, out of the Bears team, defense is usually what has always been the winner of the game. Defense has always been the thing. And last week, for the first time that I was able to actually watch like that, our quarterback... our future quarterback, my quarterback, Justin Fields, brought that team back to a win, and then the defense failed like they were doing all game long. They ended up failing, lost the game. I mean, it's a team game, but I mean, the defense has not been playing good, and Derek Carr has been playing pretty decent. Considering what's been happening to that team, Derek Carr has still been playing pretty good, and I think that he lights up our secondary. So, at number 8, slipped all the way down to number 8, we got Kyler Murray versus Seattle. Seattle is hot trash cans. Like I said, I've been saying all year, Kyler Murray is going to MVP season, but he has been a little injured and dinged up. So it's why he's dropped down so low on my list. Let's see if that man can get back up there. It looks like he is going to have DeAndre Hopkins back this week too. So we'll see. Both of them have been a little banged up the last 2 weeks now. At number 7, Mita Rodgers. We got Aaron Rodgers rolling at number 7 at Minnesota. What the hell is happening to Minnesota? All of a sudden, this team acts like they want to play the game. For the first time all year, Kirk Cousins is starting to look like a quarterback. I don't even have Kirk Cousins on my list. I'm not putting him up there. But, yeah, Mr. Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers, he's been playing. Obviously, he's doing Aaron Rodgers things. And against Minnesota, has Minnesota been a fluke with the way they've been playing? Who knows? But we'll see this week because this is going to be a tough one for them. At number 6, we're going with my favorite quarterback in the league right now, Herbie. They're facing Pittsburgh, and guys, you want to talk about that's another shocker. I guess that's another unpredictable thing right there. Everybody was calling Pittsburgh to win the division at the beginning of the year, weren't they? Every top 5 defense, it's what the hell? Detroit just tied them in overtime last week. The Bears should have beat Pittsburgh's a disaster right now, and Herbert is going to light them up. Let's see. Keenan Allen hasn't had almost a game at all this year, and they were at it fast to start the season with Herbert. Mike Williams was the recipient of almost everything, and I think they need to get back to that. Eckler, just keep rolling with him. Got to get him in the passing game. Still not even in the passing game 100% yet. I think Herbert, this is another breakout game from the lack he's been doing lately. At number 5, this is going to make a particular person a little upset. And maybe I am wrong on this. Could be. I could be wrong. Again, this is my stats. I'm going to change it right now. I'm going to go with Patty Mahomes at 5 versus Dallas. That whole team has been a struggle almost all season long, but they finally did have their breakout. They had a better game last week, finally came out and tore it up. It was 5 touchdowns for Patrick Mahomes, who, like I just said at the beginning of the show, is 3rd right now in interceptions for the year. So you got to keep that into consideration. Patrick Mahomes almost dropped off the list last week on the top 10. So for him to be at 5, he should feel freaking lucky. Patty, get your head out of your ass, bud. At number 4, I am going to go with Lamar Jackson at number 4. Lamar Jackson at Chicago. Like I said, I do think he's going to tear the top over of Chicago. And if I'm like I said from the beginning of the season, I didn't have a lot of hope on Lamar Jackson. But I mean, the guy is starting to prove himself with his arm. He's out there trying to prove himself now. He is elite, and he is throwing. I mean, this is his best year yet, throwing wise. Don't get me wrong. He, like I said, going into the season, he was averaging 196 yards a game passing. That's not exactly what you want to look for out of a quarterback. But people like to forget that you got to keep in mind his running is elite. It is elite. And yes, he's a quarterback, and people don't want to see a quarterback run because then they like to say injury this, injury that, which is true. But this man right now is going to run for 125 plus yards against the Bears this week. And the Bears have always been a good run-stopping defense. They always have, especially against quarterbacks. That Michael Vick never was able to do shit to them. The rushing quarterbacks was never able to do anything to the Bears. But I do think Lamar Jackson is going to have 125 plus this week rushing, and I'm going to go ahead and say he's going to have 275 passing. So, yeah, I think that he belongs at 4 there. At number 3, we've seen the angriness come back, and I called it last week when I said this man's going to come back with a vengeance. He was pissed off. He was mad. And he played like it and brought his team to that W. And I do think that the team is this good because of this man. So at number 3, I'm going to say Dak Prescott at Kansas City. Also, Kansas City is just not shutting shit down at all. Dak's going to tear them apart. That's going to be a wild game. If Prescott comes back like he did last week, this is going to be a wild one. We're going to be touched. Can we touch 60 points in a game? I don't know if we've hit 60 points in a game yet this year. I mean, I'm sure we have. There had to have been a 30 somewhere. So I see a lot of points in this game for sure. At number 2, I don't know why. Like I go back and forth. My 2 to 4 always goes back and forth. He might have been a little high this week, and this is based off of Indy has been trash. They're getting ran over. They're getting thrown over. This quarterback has found his rhythm. He's playing. He even got his number 1 receiver back in last week with a humongous game, and I feel like he's going to start connecting with him again, and they're just going to start running it. And he's already been doing good, not even throwing to this guy. So can we see like super elite numbers coming out of him? So at number 2, I did put Josh Allen. And then at number 1, the angriest of the angry guys, even angrier than Dak Prescott last week. I don't know if you guys seen this guy's press conference at the end of the game. They counted it down. It was like a minute and 17 seconds. He just sat there. Go look at the pictures of his last press conference. It is hilarious. This guy was angry as all hell, and I'm sure you haven't heard his name yet on the list. So it's got to be Tom Brady at number 1 versus the Giants. Get them. Oh my God! Am I already throwing it out of there? Am I already throwing it out? Yeah. Where is it? No, my alert didn't go. What the fuck? No. Oh. Hold on. Oh, I figured out why. I know why. I know why it didn't work.
Get him out. Ready? Are you ready? Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get the hell out of here.
But yeah, you might as well just get them out of here because the Giants are serious trash. Where do you want to start when it comes to the Giants? They're all bad. And Tom Brady is angry, and he is going to come back, and he is going to destroy that team. What the hell is going on with my stuff here? There we go. Okay. So that's the quarterback list. We do have the lower 10 love. Could make 10. Possible 10 at the end of the week. We'll see. But the first one we got is Ryan Tannehill at Houston. Ryan Tannehill. A.J. Brown is finally starting to play. Yes, he is missing Julio Jones. He missed Julio Jones last year and did what he did. So, also, I mean, obviously with the Derrick Henry gone, that you have to rely on Tannehill a little bit more, which is should be worrisome for the Titans. But the Titans are playing right now, man. They're balling out. So I'm going to put Tannehill up there, especially against Houston. And then our other one could be a hot take. I'm going to go with Mac Jones here. Now, don't get me wrong when I say, like, I'm saying Mac Jones because they're playing Atlanta. Mac Jones against Atlanta Falcons. Obviously, everybody knows how that defense is. But Mac Jones, I'm not saying he's going to light it up for 300-plus yards. But if you guys watch this guy, he just doesn't throw interceptions. This guy is very accurate. And he is, like, sifting that ball through tight spots. Last week, he had 3 touchdowns and only, like, 196 yards. They pulled him almost immediately after half because they were destroying Cleveland that bad. And that's Cleveland he did that to. Cleveland is not no joke on defense. So I'm starting to like Mac Jones. I got my eye on that guy a little bit. We'll see. I'm not saying he's going to break top 10. I don't think he is because I don't think he's got the yards in him to do that. I think he needs a little tiny bit better of a staff around him. He doesn't have the receivers that are going to get him to the promised land in 300 level, 350-plus level. It's just not going to happen. So I'm going to go with Mac Jones as my second love it for the week. And then obviously, it came a little early today, but we got our list of the...
Get him out. Ready? Are you ready? Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get the hell out of here.
Sins, what's up, bro? I don't know if you can call that exactly a hydrate, but that's all I got right now. What's up, man? Appreciate you stopping by. But on the get him out of here list today, I'm sure you guys didn't hear this guy's name on my top 10 list. And I know I've received a lot of hate, and I wanted to back it up this week, especially with this quarterback. My first get him out of here of the week. I don't want any part of him. Jalen Hurts. I don't want him. He's against New Orleans this week. Not that Orleans is a shutdown defense, but I still. There's only 1 week. There's 1 week I said, you know what? He's starting to play a little bit. You took a drink out of something that counts. Yep, I did. But Jalen Hurts, he is the 1 week I gave him credit. He shit on me. The very next week I was like, oh, he's back to my get him out of here list. That was the guy. That was his best game of the year. But since then has been trash. He is not completing more than, I think the most completions he's got, at least in the last 5 games that he's played, is 18 completions. And so for that fact, I'm not 100% on board with Jalen Hurts again. So I'm going to have to put him back down on that list. Plus, he's just not, he's not tearing it up as far as numbers goes, guys. He is barely getting 200 yards a game. So... And then my number 2, get him out of here for this week on the quarterbacks, Russell Wilson. After last week, yikes! Are they following? Dude, the Seattle started off hot last year, and then they went into the huge cold freeze, and it looks like it's happening to them again. So until they show otherwise, I'm gonna have to keep Seattle, all of Seattle, this way. And I'm sorry, Russell, you are sitting in the get him out of here, not wanting to play you against Arizona this week. Oh man, so here we go. We got running backs this week. Running backs for this week. Starting at number 10. At number 10, I'm gonna go with. This is a tough one. This actually was tough. I went between 3 or 4 different running backs at number 10. It could have really went up. It could have went up to either of these guys, but I'm gonna stick with going with James Conner with Kyler Murray back, DeAndre Hopkins back. They do have Ertz. I think that the defense, because they're playing Washington, or who are they playing? They're playing Seattle. Again, Seattle is hot garbage on defense to begin with anyways. But now that they actually got their weapons back, I think that needs to take control. That's going to be the focus from the defense this week from Seattle, is controlling Kyler Murray. And when you're trying to control Kyler Murray and all of his weapons that he's got over there, you're going to leave that run game. And James Conner did it 2 weeks ago. We've seen what he did when Chase Edmonds went out. James Conner didn't have a blow-up game last week. He did decent, but I think that with him being the solo back there again and Kyler Murray back, it's just going to make it even a bigger game for him. So James Conner at number 10. At number 9, get at me, all of my Dallas people that watch my show. Get at me, I don't care. Number 9 is Zeke, and he's lucky he even made the list. He's making the list because he's playing Kansas City, at Kansas City. So he is making my list, but it was very close to him actually slipping. I do think he's going to have a little bit of a better game, but also slipping, he definitely is. I looked it up in his last 4 games. Last 4, he does not have more than 69 yards rushing. And it's not like he's receiving the ball either. So 69 yards rushing at most in his last 4 games. He's lucky he made the list. Kansas City is trash. And that's the only reason I have him up there as of right now. So I'm giving you the top 10, Zeke. You don't make me look like an idiot, all right? I do that myself a lot. Enough. You don't have to help. At number 8, I'm going to go with another one, dropping way off down the list. All year, he's been up there in the top 3, top 5. Another one, at 8, Alvin Kamara is dropping down the list. He is playing Philly this week, at Philly. But also, this is another guy, in his last 4 games, has at most rushed for 71 yards, which actually technically is almost average for Kamara because the guy just doesn't run the ball. He doesn't run 100-yard games. He doesn't. Like I said, every single year, the biggest year he's had all-purpose since in his whole career has been 1,600 yards all-purpose for an entire year. So he does get a good mix. I feel like averaging-wise for Kamara, it's 70 yards rushing and 70 yards catching. And which is still good. In standard points, you want that. Standard league, you want that for sure, especially when there's PPR. For PPR, he's a monster. But I'm going to stick with him at 8 for this week. At number 7, toppling over these guys, Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon at Las Vegas. At 125 yards this week for Joe Mixon. Do I say 125? Like I said, I think Cincinnati bull rushes Raiders this week, so I'm pretty high on some of their players. Number 6, if he plays, I know there's a lot of injury going on, but based off of him playing Detroit, I'm gonna go with Nick Chubb at 6. At 5, going with another terrible defense we already talked about on this already. Against the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm going to go with Austin Eckler. Come on, Eckler. We need to have a game here, buddy. You need to have this breakout where people start, like, you need to be eyed. You need to make a point here. The Chargers need to fight and win the game and come back and start playing. And try to take that lead. Try to take the reign here, Eckler. At number 4, Dalvin Cook versus Green Bay. Going with the Dalvin. Playing decent. He had over 100 yards last week. He's having wishy-washy, not bad games, but he is back and forth between. It seems like he's jumping between like 80 yards a game, 100 yards a game. So, like I said, the Vikings playing a little bit better and doing good. Dalvin Cook needs to be part of that. I know Kirk Cousins is looking better, but I think that Dalvin Cook, as long as he can stay healthy, needs to be the main man here. So, at number 3. And this has been a surprise for a lot of people. I hear about it every week, and I don't know why it's a surprise. I don't even think he's even hitting his full potential yet. I think that he's a lot better than he has been playing, and we will see that. And he's already playing good. So, like, saying that I think he could be better is crazy. But I'm going to go with Najee Harris at 3, and that's against the Chargers. At 2, this one I did jump back and forth hard. I jumped back and forth between these two hard, and the only reason I went with him at 2 is because he is playing Buffalo's defense, and Buffalo is they got a good defense going right now. So at number 2, this man has also had, in 4 of his last 5 games, has been over 107 yards every game. 107 is his lowest game in the last 4 or 5 games that he's played. So Jonathan Taylor, probably as of right now, currently, if we're looking at stat-wise, is the best back in the league right now. But he is going to hit number 2 this week just based off of him playing Buffalo. So if you have Jonathan Taylor, play him no matter what. I think against any team every week right now with the way he's playing, you play him. And then at number 1 versus Washington, last week he came back, and I know he's been a little bit silent and people don't hear about him a whole lot yet. Again, he 150 all-purpose yards last week for him too. He had 150, and now he's got a quarterback back with him that I'm actually not sure. I don't think he played with him. But CMC, Christian McCaffrey, in number 1 versus Washington. Nasty game coming his way. 200 all-purpose yards this week. You heard it here first. 2 touchdowns. So for the lower level love out of the top 10, we're going to go with number 1, Leonard Fournette versus the Giants. And then at 2, another hot take. I wanted to try to take hot takes on here. I'm going to go with Elijah Mitchell versus Jacksonville. San Fran was wanting to run that ball. That's all they wanted to do, and it looked good. It looked pretty. So San Fran went back to how they were playing when they were good. Defense and running, and that's what they need to do. And I think that Mitchell is going to be a part of that again. Straight bull rush for him. And then we are at that part of the show where we hit that list.
Get him out. Ready? Are you ready? Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get the hell out of here.
Our number 1, get him out of here this week versus what we were just talking about, San Fran. I'm going to go with James Robinson. You play him if you obviously you're most likely playing 2 running backs. Almost every league does. If you're playing 2 running backs, if you have a good third, do you possibly put him in right now? I just For some reason, my gut feeling says James Robinson. I don't want to play him. If I have somebody else that's good, that I know will get at least 10 points, at least 10, 15, hopefully, I want to play him and maybe sit Robinson here this week. Could be wrong, obviously. And then second, get him out of here. And I think this is going to be a no-brainer, get him out of here, versus Tampa Bay this week. Coming back after this man just cannot stay healthy. This man will probably, like, crack his jaw eating cereal. I'm going to go with Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is getting to get him out of here again. I had a lot of trust in this guy. I put a whole lot of faith in him in my leagues this year. Thankfully, I'm still sticking around on a lot of these, but this guy, he's back this week, but I don't think he's back this week. So he's going to take a seat for this one on me. Going to the receivers, we got a big list here today. That's kind of why I wanted to go through it quicker today. So at number 10, we're just going to get right to it right away. At number 10, Mike Evans versus New York Giants. Realistically, when I said Mike Evans, what I meant was either Mike Evans, Godwin. You know how this goes. It's going to be one of them. One of them is going to have a big game. I'm throwing them in there. Antonio Brown, there's 3 of them there, 3 number 1 receivers on any other team. They're all there. And so any of them could really be at number 10. And that's the way I looked at that one. At number 9, making a surprise appearance, hasn't been on here in a while. I haven't even talked about him in a while. But I think, again, with his quarterback back and to the fact that they're playing Washington. That's mainly when I say the quarterback's back, I am not saying I have a lot of faith in Cam Newton. I don't. I actually have been bad on Cam Newton. I think I think he is washed up. I will say that. I've said that many times. I think he's washed up. But I do think against Washington, he does have a decent game. He's going to have a good game for his first actual start. And I think DJ Moore is going to be the recipient and the receiving game for him. So at number 9, I'm going to stick with DJ Moore, even though I know that's maybe a risky play. That's what I'm going to do with that. So at number 8, we're going to go with Justin Jefferson versus Green Bay. He's had a mediocre season all year so far. He has been right there. He all year. I don't think he's dropped out of top 10 at all one time this year, except for bye week. But he has been like kind of wishy-washy as far as like never being able to get to the top 3. I'm sure he's been in top 3 at some point in my list here this year, but he kind of floats in between 5 to 8, and I think that's calls for slightly better than mediocre play, and we know what Justin Jefferson did last year, rookie of the year. He needs to get that back in there. We got a first-time chatter. Oh, look at that. First-time chatter wants me to become famous. Thank you, AARAPP. Get him out of here. Oh, man. You love to see it. You love to see it. Either way, we're going to continue on. At number 7, Tyreek Hill with versus Dallas this week. Again, it's going to be a crazy. If this is just based off if they play this week, Patty Mahomes comes back and even does slightly what he did last week. I think this is going to be a big scoring week, and Tyreek Hill has to be a part of it. I don't like Mecole Hardman, or I mean, obviously they have. Tyreek Hill. He's going to be a part of it. And look at that. Like always, Channel 42 coming in. Get him out of here. This man, he's always on top of it. At number 6, again, following the same game. It's going to be a high score, guys. Get him out of here. You got it. At number 6, going with CeeDee Lamb versus Kansas City. I said it last week. I said I think CD is the better receiver over there. Not that Amari Cooper is bad, but I think that CD at the end of the year, I've been saying it since game 1 this year, CeeDee Lamb is going to squeak out with the more yards and the more touchdowns by the end of the year than Amari Cooper. And I'm not saying he's going to blow him out. I just think that CD is Dak's future. That's Dak's future, and I think that he's going to be treated as such. And so at number 6, I'm going to go with him because he's just. Last week he had 2 touchdowns. It was a good game for CD, and I kind of for some reason see that happening again this week for him. At number 5, making an appearance back in the top 5, He has been out of here since the beginning of the year, but he is back. A.J. Brown versus Houston, because it's Houston. Like I said, with Julio out again, given the total shares to A.J. Brown, and Derrick Henry out, Tannehill has to focus and get A.J. Brown going, and he's starting to do that. A.J. Brown's having good games now, and I think that against Houston this week, he has a blow up. So at number 4, and it's, oh man, this guy has drove me wild this year. Guys, I'm going to let you know right now, this guy right here, I had him. If I didn't have him in a league, I ended up getting him on my league from trades because I felt like, man, the quarterback is going to start up. He's going to start tearing it up at some point, and I need to put faith in that. And so I'm going to go all in on this receiver. And then he took a huge crap all year long. Hasn't done shit. I trade the man, and the man goes off for a humongous game. And I'm salty about it. Diggs at number 4. Stephon Diggs. Let's see. He's facing Indy here this week. So does he continue it? Does he not? If he does have another skid where he played good last week and he's off again for a few games, it's either going to be that or he's back and he's going to be playing again. So we'll see. At number 3, man, this is a battle up here at 2 and 3, at least for me. But at number 3, I am going to go with Jamar Chase at number 3. Man is going to be rookie of the year. Burrow is his favorite target, and Burrow is looking to him immediately. And that's what's scary is he's looking to him immediately, and Burrow has other good receivers. T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. He's got other receivers over there, and he is immediately looking at Jamar Chase and only trying to go to Jamar Chase. They're good friends. They've known each other for a long time, before NFL. And Jamar Chase, he's top 3. I think that in total, if somebody told me, hey, man, you're picking a team next week and you get to pick a receiver, I think I do go Devontae Adams still, but then right away I'm going Jamar Chase right after that. I think Jamar Chase is second best in the league right now. At number 2, skipping over this man's name, and this is because I don't know how this guy's doing it. I don't know how he's playing the way he is. I don't think he's spectacular at any actual level. Not on his route running, not at speed, not at his hands. But for some reason, he is making it work, and he is running it out there, and he's playing well. And I could be wrong on his just not being top level in every category. Obviously, he's elite. He's elite. So I'm going to go with Deebo Samuel at 2. I just don't know how this guy is doing it the way he is. It's crazy to me that I have Deebo Samuel at 2 right now. At the beginning of the year, I wouldn't have thought that by a landslide. So, and then at number 1, Devontae Adams versus at Minnesota. We got lower level love in the receivers. So for number 1, we got Keenan Allen has to finally come in and play a game here versus Pittsburgh. Perfect time to come in and have a game. So I'm going to go with him on this one. I'm going to go with Marquise Brown at Chicago, just because if I'm going to hope that I don't want to hope. I don't want him to do anything. But if Lamar Jackson's going to do anything, it's going to be to Marquise Brown. We've seen that, and that's just how it is. That's the only receiver he's really got. And then I also, hot take, versus the Jets, I'm going to go with Jalen Waddle. Going with Jalen Waddle. Going in there. He's going to have a big game. Calling it. And then for the last time of the day, we got that list that we all know and like.
Get him out. Ready? Are you ready? Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get the hell out of here.
We're getting out of here with DK Metcalf. Get him out. Until this team shows me absolutely anything, I'm getting out of here with him and Tyler Lockett. They can both take a seat. Obviously, you're not sitting DK Metcalf if you have him. But, again, if you could plug somebody in that can possibly have a huge game, DK, I'm just worried with him right now. I'm also sitting Scary Terry. Again, guys, you're not sitting. I'm just trying to call hot takes here that won't make top 10. So Scary Terry is going to hit that list also at Carolina. And then I'm also going to roll with Deontay Johnson. I'm definitely sitting versus the Chargers. I don't like anything that's going out with the Steelers now. Ben Roethlisberger was bad enough, and then now they got that other bum in there. So Pittsburgh is sick. They need to figure something out. I think they got COVID, and they can't shake it, and that's what's going on with them. So that is going to be it for the show today on Bud's Fantasy Football Show. Next week, we'll be back to it. Running back, quarterback, receivers. We'll get back to the sports book, and we'll come out, hang out, chat. Thanks, everybody that comes in every week. You know, guys, I every week that I come on here and I do this and I post it and this and that, it's just fun for me. I love talking football. I've always said I wanted to do a football podcast. I've asked many people over time to do a football podcast with me, and because it's hard with work and people have, you know, kids and stuff like that, it's hard to always get on and do a podcast with a group of people. And I just love fantasy football. So when I have downtime and, you know, the son's asleep, as you guys know, when he's asleep, I love doing podcasts anyways. As you guys know, I do podcasts. So I love football. So I put the two together, do a fantasy football podcast, and that's why I come on here and do it every week. I just love doing it and running through the stats and running through numbers with you guys. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I appreciate anybody that either comes on here on Twitch and watches live with me and chats. I've got a lot of followers through here just from doing fantasy football.